In this episode, we're breaking down Cracker Barrel's logo disaster. They ditched the iconic man in overalls and the barrel and updated their logo only to receive immediate backlash. Today, we're discussing why it failed and the lessons every entrepreneur needs to know before you change your brand.
Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. Cracker Barrel hired a company called Profit, which is a San Francisco-based design firm, several months prior to launching their logo to refresh their brand. The goal was to modernize the logo and restaurants to make it cleaner, more streamlined, and more contemporary. But in August of 2025, when the new logo dropped, chaos ensued. It was all over social media. People were so upset that the classic man in overalls was gone and the barrel icon was removed, which is what everyone recognized. And instead, there was a simplified outline of the barrel with a sleeker word mark. At the same time, 4 of their 660 locations were redesigned with a modern look, mostly white interiors, minimalist decor, and fewer of those quirky knickknacks that make Cracker Barrel feel like Cracker Barrel. But where it went wrong is that the redesign didn't just modernize, it alienated the brand's core audience. Social media lit up with backlash. People were upset, confused, and some even called it a cultural misstep. Even the White House weighed in. And business, well, traffic dropped 8% right away. Yeah, it's crazy how much a logo can impact your business, especially if you're a well-established brand. So the lesson here is that even iconic brands with loyal followings aren't immune to misreading their audience. Cracker Barrel had to backtrack, revert back to their old logo, suspend the restaurant redesigns, and restructure leadership, including changes in marketing leadership, which is a lot to unpack, but it's actually a goldmine of lessons for any entrepreneur who's thinking about a rebrand. I think this particular rebrand struck a chord even more than maybe others would, because I think some people saw it as a political change, removing the man in the overalls. I think people saw it as trying to be more woke. I think that's how some people interpreted it. I don't know if that was Cracker Barrel's intent or not. It doesn't seem like that from what our research has shown, but I think that's how some people interpret it and why they had such strong feelings about it. And I mean, even major companies like Walmart recently revised their logo, but the changes were very, very minimal. Yeah. I think just the font was a little bit chunkier and the color was a little bluer. But aside from that, it was still the original logo. Right. So one of the most important takeaways that we can learn from this experience is to know your audience. Your customers have emotional ties to your brand, and Cracker Barrel's fans love the nostalgia, the overalls, the barrel, the homey decor, and when you stray too far from what people love, you risk losing them. Yeah, this is bringing back memories, a little off topic, but I used to teach Zumba back in law school and up until the time I had kids, really. And we would I would have these routines, this choreography for certain songs, and I was always trying to mix it up and do new songs because I thought people would get bored of the same old songs. But what I came to find out was people would complain when I changed too much because they loved the songs they knew. Like, they knew the steps without having to think about it. They looked forward to those songs that they knew, and they did not want me to be changing it all the time. And that was kind of an eye-opening moment for me, because I thought people get bored of things, and in reality, they get comfortable and they like what's familiar.
Very true.
Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is @MissBizPodcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes. The other thing that we can learn from this is to test before you launch anything new or major. So you can use focus groups, surveys, even a soft rollout that can catch potential backlash before it goes viral. So imagine if Cracker Barrel had tested the logo or interior design with their core audience first, they might have avoided this whole entire mess.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Cracker Barrel wouldn't do something like that. They're a big enough company that you would expect them to do some focus group research. But that marketing company didn't get their contract renewed.
Yeah, because I'm sure that they have an internal marketing team, you would think.
Well, and they hired that other company as well. So,
right.
That was, Cracker Barrel, you know exactly what to expect. You know what their brand is. You can envision their stores. They've got that country southern feel to them. And if you're going to mess with that, then it's just going to lose what people know and love about it.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is you want to make sure that you're staying true to your brand values. So a logo isn't just a pretty picture, it represents your brand identity. Modernizing it is fine, but if it undermines your brand, what your brand stands for, people will notice.
Yeah. And be cognizant if any changes you make could be interpreted to have a political effect, then some people are guaranteed to not like it.
Absolutely. And even if they don't, even if your intentions aren't to have like a political impact, still be looking from other people's perspective, like what might other people see that I'm not seeing, and try to have like a group discussion, like a mastermind about it, to where you can discuss anything potentially that could go wrong with it.
Yeah. I had a friend who was working on a logo for a new company, and she has I guess Danish roots or Viking roots, and so she wanted to do something with the Viking helmet, but she also is a woman, so she kind of wanted it to be feminine, and so she was putting together these really cool designs that had these horns, and sending it to a group of friends to be kind of her focus group and give us the feedback. And one of our friends said it feels like, who's that Disney character, Aurora's it's the movie with Angelina Jolie is Maleficent. She goes, it's giving Maleficent vibes. And after she said that, that's all I could see. Before that, I didn't see that, but she saw Maleficent in it, and our friend ended up changing the logo entirely because she's like, well, if you see Maleficent, other people are going to see Maleficent, and that's not what I'm going for. So you just that focus group is so important because they see things that you never even would have thought of.
Yeah. And if you do make a change, explain why you're making that change. Bring your audience along for the ride. People are more likely to accept changes when they understand the reasoning behind it.
Yeah. I think even if you involve them in the change, like I've seen certain brands who will do a vote of their audience. Which color do you like the best? Or which logo do you like the best? Or something like that, so that people feel like they're part of the process, part of the decision making, and then when the change comes, even if it wasn't what they voted for, they still appreciate that that's what the majority liked.
Yeah. Well, they felt like they were part of the process, and that's the whole thing. They're not excluded, they're included. You also want to avoid overhauling everything at once. So one of the major downfalls that Cracker Barrel had was they changed both their logo and the restaurant at the same time. So sometimes incremental updates are safer, where you can make small tweaks over time and allow your audiences to adjust.
And then be ready to pivot. Even the best laid plans can go sideways, so having a contingency plan for backlash is ideal. Cracker Barrel had to move fast to reverse its course, and while they will recover, the damage to traffic and reputation was real.
Yeah, people were very, very upset for days until they reverted it back. Finding guests for a podcast can be difficult sometimes, so Brooke and I wanted to let you guys know that we are available to appear on your podcast.
We also enjoy speaking at events, so if you have an event coming up, these jingles can go on the road.
Simply go to missbiz.com/contact, and in the subject line, write podcast guest or event speaker, and we'll reach out to you to further coordinate. And even then, they were still talking about it. So what we're going to talk about next is some tips to consider when you're thinking about a rebrand. So if you're thinking about a rebrand, here's how to do it thoughtfully. Consider if your brand feels outdated, if your audience has shifted, or your current look no longer aligns with your values. Then, if that's the case, then it's time to consider a rebrand.
When not to rebrand, though, is when your customers love your current look, or you're riding on strong momentum, or a redesign won't add real value.
You want to make sure that you audit your brand as well, understand what's working, what isn't, and what your audience loves, because you don't want to fix something that's not broken.
Yeah. And so, and also too, that reminds me, sometimes if you hire a new marketing company or something like that, they may always be of the opinion that you need to do a rebrand, you need to do something new. I mean, every time I talk to a website designer, they all think I need a new website. And it's like,
yeah.
So, you know, you just have to, like you said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But just because someone's recommending it doesn't necessarily mean that that's correct. You really want to get the input from your audience to know if it's something that needs to be done.
Yeah, exactly. Also, work with professionals, but stay aligned with your brand's core identity. I see a lot of mistakes where business owners who do not have graphic art experience will try to do their own logos, and it doesn't look eye-catching at all. So definitely make sure, if you are doing a rebrand, that if you're investing all this time and effort and energy into it, hire somebody to do it for you who is experienced and can do this, you know, for you effortlessly and do a better job as well.
Also, do a soft launch and then gather feedback. So test the rebrand concepts in small areas and then listen to the audience and tweak things as needed.
And after you've tested it, you've done your soft launch, then launch with confidence, having learned from those tests.
Cracker Barrel shows us that even big brands can make mistakes, but you can avoid their mistakes by thinking strategically and putting your audience first.
So just remember that rebranding can be really powerful, but it's not just about looking modern or trendy. It's about honoring what your customers love, staying true to your values, and testing before you make big moves. So a misstep can cost a lot of traffic, loyalty, and even your brand's reputation. But with careful planning and a thoughtful approach, your brand can breathe new life into your business without losing the people who love you the most. And if you're thinking about refreshing your brand, our team at Bolts Media would love to meet with you to evaluate your audience and see what they treasure most about you and let that guide your decision. We can be reached at www.boltsmedia.com.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.